Okay, podcast starts now. Hi, George. Welcome to LA. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm loving it here.
Yeah?
Well, not quite. It is okay. First of all, I'm vowing not to say anything negative about Los Angeles for a full calendar year because of
the fires.
Because of everything Angelinos have been through. You know, I have so much affection.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you. I have so much affection for the city of Los Angeles, despite all my negative associations with it. Okay.
Sure.
That said, what's the plan?
I want to go back to what you already have said.
Yes.
Which is that, you have all these issues with Los Angeles, and yet if you push those aside, you love it.
Yes.
I think that's such an amazing way to view the world, because pretty much anyone I have issue with, if you take away all the issues I have with them, I love them to death. I have no problems with them at all, as long as the problems are taken away.
Here's my thing with Los Angeles is I actually I genuinely love reading cultural histories of Los Angeles, and I think it's one of those things that I actually love in theory and struggle with in practice.
Of course.
I genuinely I'm the king of Didion, Eve Babbitt. Give me or Lana.
Sure.
Music about Los Angeles, films about Los Angeles. I will eat it up. And then I arrive and suddenly I'm like, wait, why am I meeting a music executive who is wearing weird designer Birkenstocks, and suddenly we're out to lunch and I have to impress him?
No, I think all those media sort of aggrandizings of LA are a lie. No disrespect to LA, but with everything happening.
And no disrespect to Joan Didion.
And no disrespect to Joan Didion. She was making stuff up. Let's start there.
Well, she was quite literally telling herself stories in order to live. But go on.
She was fully lying. She was living in Mali. She was not chilling in East Hollywood.
This is actually something no one talks about. Is she was fully in Malibu.
Just hanging out and being like, God, I love LA. It's no, you love Malibu.
Smoking cigarettes, not eating for 5 days at a time.
Drinking fully starting at noon.
Yes.
And she's like, God, this city's amazing. And
it's you're just eating it up. And they're like, God, she's so right.
She's so smart. I mean, I literally have not had a meal out in public that wasn't next to someone talking about their aspiring modeling, acting, music career in a full calendar year.
Sure.
That can do a lot to someone. I fear leaving my home because you have to find a parking spot wherever you go. Everywhere I go, I'm stranded there. There's
totally.
There's no free fun. You are everywhere you go, you are stuck and you are scared. Mm-hmm. And I think all these people, there needs to be new media about LA. I need someone to romanticize, the fact that you have to go home because you couldn't find parking. I need someone to romanticize, you actually Ubered to get drinks with a friend where they drove, so you wasted your Uber money because you were actually planning on getting 4 drinks where they were planning on getting 1.5.
Yeah. You should watch Nobody Wants This.
What's that?
You know that show with Adam Brody?
I'm just supposed to know every show now?
Oh my God, this was Adam Brody. That's why he's having a resurgence. 2 podcasting sisters.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
I'm going to just keep describing it. This is not good footage.
Keep going. What
Anyway,
about it?
I'm just saying it's about 2 sisters that have a podcast in the year 2024. So it's maybe exactly what the doctor ordered for you. It romanticizes Los Angeles in a way where you're actually kind of maybe none of these people deserve to have careers or jobs.
Yeah. That people need to say whether or not we're Ubering or driving.
Should we bring in our guest to weigh in?
I think we should. And because this is also starting to sound so stereotypical podcasty, that I think we need a new energy in here.
I agree. And we've never been stereotypical in our lives. And
everything we do is unique and new.
Everything we do is unique and has never been done before.
Yeah. So with that being said, please welcome to the podcast, Ali Macofsky.
Wow. Hi.
Hi. The one rule is you can't say anything unoriginal.
Okay.
Are you from California?
I'm from Long Beach, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I feel slightly disrespected.
Totally. And how do you feel about
unseen.
romanticizing California and romanticizing Los Angeles?
I think, La La Land did a pretty good job, I would say.
I would agree.
You know, they had a full dance break musical number in the Los Angeles traffic.
True.
I'm ready to reclaim La La Land. Do you remember at the time when it was like La La Land? What you
It's
might as well
Trump.
be a Trump supporter if you like La La
I
Land.
don't remember this.
Because it
Oh,
was La La Land
God.
versus,
versus Moonlight.
and so people were like, "Well, if you like La La Land,
You're a
you
Trump supporter."
Are a Trump supporter.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that discourse of it.
God, it was an amazing time.
I have rewatched La La Land somewhat recently, and it's so good.
Yeah, it's
an
actually good,
incredible
unfortunately,
movie.
yeah.
It's like I have a boyfriend. Sorry to say that so early. in the
Congrats.
pod.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
I just need to certify the straightness
totally.
before discussing. But I want him to cry. I think that's every woman's goal in a heterosexual relationship.
Yes.
I need to see him cry. I want to know that there's emotions in depth. And so when we first got together, I had him watch Marley and Me because I'm like, that's certified.
It's basically like
Yeah.
emotional porn.
Not
Yeah.
a good movie, but like you will cry.
Yeah.
And then, it had been some time since that. So we put on La La Land and he did get choked up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, La La Land is a great movie for many reasons.
I feel like that is such a big part of straight relationships is women once a month being like, let's check if he has feelings again.
Yep, totally.
Because I'm starting to get suspicious that he might not anymore.
Well, it's almost like a scab. Like they over time they just do scab up, and you have to like break it
Totally.
off, or else.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to like remind them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to show them some pain in the world and be like, how does this make you feel?
Yeah.
This is a test, then you either pass
Well,
or
because I
fails.
feel like guys are always like, oh, when women, when you're in a relationship and women are like, it's fine. We know it's not fine. You just got to tell us. And then I'll be like, how was your day? And they're like, good.
Totally.
I'm like, you don't give anything either.
I know, it's crazy.
Come on, let's dig a little deeper.
It's the comfort with, like, this is a cliche, but like guys will have friends that they know nothing about, and they
Yeah.
are lifelong friends. They're like, I would die for him. Like, I'm giving a speech at his wedding. Do not know a single thing about him.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into this territory with some people
Yeah.
where now it's like going out friends.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have people that I know
Totally.
simply from like we go to the same bar on Friday, and I'll like see them on Friday, and it's like I don't know. Sometimes I'll even forget their name if it's been a month.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, and hi, and it's like, at what point do we? Like, I don't know if I want to take it to the next level, and at what point should I?
I think that's fine. I talked to my therapist about this.
Really?
Yeah. There's like, you can have little friend circles. So there's like the really close friend circle, and then there's like the acquaintance circle, and then there's maybe bar friend circle. Like there's different circles. Not everyone needs to be
Totally.
at the same level.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is, yes, not everyone needs to be the same level. And then the issue with the straight guy thing is that that's their closest friend circle.
Oh, that's a good.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah.
It's like that's
differentiation.
they'll be like, that's my best friend.
My boyfriend, one of his like closest friends from growing up is getting married, having a wedding. My boyfriend has been asked to be one of the best groomsmen,
Classic, yeah.
best men, whatever it's called.
Huge.
And my boyfriend's like, so he couldn't. He's like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, that's one of your closest friends. But I think guys just don't have that connection to friendships where it's like, oh, this is an important thing. They're like, now I have to go to this wedding. Like it's just an errand, like,
Is it an inconvenient wedding, especially?
yeah, it's a destination wedding. It's a bit of an inconvenience, but it's he's getting married.
Sure.
You gotta go. You gotta suck it up.
Yeah, it's funny because the stereotype, it's like, okay, a man won't see the point of it, but then the stereotype the sexist stereotype, of course, of a woman is like she's excited to go and also do emotional warfare at the destination wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. I won't be able to make the wedding, so
Because it's too inconvenient.
no, I ended
Well, you're
up.
not going to go without him.
Yeah,
Wait,
But he's
is
gonna go.
he's going.
Oh, he just doesn't want to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can't go.
But now I can't go. Which I was happy. I don't even know this guy very well. And I'm like, come on, babe. It's a trip. We'll make it,
Yeah.
a thing. But yeah, guys' friendships, straight men's friendships are very disconnected.
There is something. It's a very specific experience to be a +1 at a wedding where you're hearing all these people say such emotional and intimate things, and you just have to nod along, and it means nothing for you.
But it kind of means everything.
I guess because you're sort of like watching.
And because it is so like loving, it's like I'm watching a movie and I'm still invested
You're
even if I don't
absolutely
know you.
Wow. I actually need to
Yeah.
go to a wedding where I know the people even less. I think that would be really helpful because I want to test this theory. Because I've been to weddings where I'm like, yeah, I've like seen you like twice a year over 8 years, but like we're never really close, but I still like know a little too much to lose myself. Like it's almost like being friends with an actor and you like see their movie and you're like, well, I still know it's John.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to almost see a full stranger's wedding and see if I can lose myself in it.
I think for sure, because I think even more so than someone you know, because if one of my friends was getting married, I'd be like, she'd be saying her vows and they'd be beautiful, and I'd be like, she was talking shit about him last month. I know what the real tea is.
That is really complicated. Because and I hate when weddings, they lean too much into the deprecation and they're like, and Todd is such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And he's lucky he got me. Because I hate, but there needs to be a balance. And it's really hard to hit that balance.
Yeah.
There's a comic in New York, Sophia Pelton, and they have a joke about how the premise is that you should be able to buy tickets to any wedding. Like it should just be on Live Nation, and like if you want to go, you should go, and it can be expensive, but like if you want to, you should go. And I think it's one of the most brilliant premises I've ever heard, because it's like, it really is so true. It is meant to be an entertaining theater piece. And I should be able to go to like someone I sort of stalk online's wedding if I want to.
Absolutely.
I don't have to make myself known. Like I can be very sort of way in the back.
Of course. And obviously the family would get like a VIP section, maybe a wristband.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe open bar for them.
And by the way, you recoup the funds. I mean, weddings are expensive. If you sell tickets, then you can even make a profit.
I mean, get that social media numbers up, and
get those social media numbers up. We have people we can introduce you to for short form video content. They do great stuff over at iHeart. I just think, I mean, and you don't have to. Like, if you want to be sort of like a Luddite, you can do a non-social media, non-ticketed wedding.
Yeah, if you like hate the public.
Yeah, totally.
If you're hiding something.
Are you getting married?
No.
Fair.
No. I think if I were to get married, I would do like a little elopement.
Yeah.
I feel like a little elopement is cute. My grandma got eloped,
Ooh.
which is like so fierce.
I love got eloped.
She eloped. No, she got it. It happened to
kidnapped.
her. She got eloped, yeah.
She was
Pretty
like,
much.
you're getting eloped.
I mean, it is kind of one of those old school loves where all of a sudden you just got eloped. Yeah, but she eloped in Vegas.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is like, because now she's like 90 something. So
This was when she was young.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 82.
I was like, maybe she's like has like this third act where she like fell in love in her 80s.
No, but I just love that like back in the day when everyone's I feel like back in the day everything was way more traditional. So the fact that she eloped
I love
in
that.
Vegas is real fierce.
Pretty punk rock. Of her.
Yeah. My grandmother, when we were younger, would sometimes let it slip that she was like very, I'm trying to say this in a respectful way, that in her village in Greece, she was very popular as a woman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Before she got with my grandfather.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then we were all sort of like, okay, like what is the most progressive and inclusive way to respond to this?
Yeah.
Can I ask what type of language does she use to say this?
I think it's more like, I think it's literally like along the lines of what I'm saying. Like I was very popular with the boys or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My grandma bragged about having giant boobs, and that's why my
Ooh.
grandpa really loved her.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a good reason, yeah.
Giant boobs, Vegas elopement. I mean, she's kind of a queen.
I know. I'm like kind of sad that I only know her as an old woman because I'm like, I
know.
want to go out with you,
Yeah.
girl. You seem fun.
It is crazy that we're now full-fledged adults and we're still like figuring out that our parents and grandparents used to be young.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and it's even worse now that I have like nieces and nephews. I'm like, oh no, you're only gonna know me as like the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I am trying to do this joke right now about how frustrating it is to become an aunt or an uncle or something because no one asks you if you're ready.
You don't
Like,
consent.
Yeah, when my
Yeah.
sisters were like, we're having a baby, I'm like, you weren't going to ask me? Like, I'm not ready to become an aunt. Like, now I have to watch my life go by through the lens of your children growing up.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
Yeah.
Because even like now like nephew's like 3, and I'm like, whoa, but I haven't changed much in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair.
And there's no
that shouldn't be reflected back at me.
yeah. And there's no like parents have so many books on how to be a good parent. And I'm like, I need a book. I don't know how to be an aunt. I feel like a deadbeat aunt. Am I supposed to get them gifts every time I see them? How often do I talk to them? Do they even register it to me on FaceTime? Like, what's the best way to like be an active aunt in their life?
The way that you can make it your own does actually stress me out. I wish there was a set of rules.
Yeah.
Because I'm even like, I'm almost like waiting to be told, like, I want my sister to be like, no, get them presents. Because right now I'm like, well, I would be annoyed if you guys like had a bunch of junk now, because every time I saw you got a toy.
But then when I show up empty-handed, I'm like, you guys hate me, huh? You guys hate me? I'm doing a bad job.
Literally, the way we live truly a 10-minute walk from our niece. And so we see her all the time. But every time I walk in empty-handed, I know it's in my head, but I can almost see my sister-in-law being like, oh, so you just sort of showed up. Not even like a little onesie or sort of like a little toy or a stuffed animal. There is an expectation that you should be, which if she's listening, I don't actually think that, but there's an expectation that like your job as uncle or aunt is like to produce presents.
Yeah. And speaking of if you're listening, I don't mean any of this.
Yeah.
I actually did want to address this. I texted you about this.
Yeah.
We're not in a place where we want to be critiqued.
This is Sam's new thing.
This is my new thing that I actually think is really smart.
Okay.
I think in the same way that no one asks for consent, whether you want to be an aunt or uncle, no one's asking me if I'm ready to be critiqued, and I'm not always ready to be critiqued.
Like in what sense? Like in comments on Instagram?
Tell you exactly
or...
what Sam
Instagram.
Okay.
There is a video that was posted of us where we say something about how often lesbians we know fall into masc and femme dynamics.
Yeah.
And so, as you might imagine in the comments, there is a militaristic army of lesbians that are telling us to read queer history.
Wow.
Literally just being like, it's called a book, read one. And it's like, enough. Like, and then I've seen this comment like at least 12 times now. And I'm like, how many more people are going to say, read a book on queer history? Like, first of all, I'm not going to. Second of all, like, that's not a note you can just give someone on Instagram. Like, it's also like, I'm just like, be mad, like, but like, just like, I don't know, find a private place to do it. I'm not in a place where I want to be critiqued.
How do you feel? What is your relationship to critique?
I think I used to be really bothered by it, and I don't know when or how it happened, but I'm like, I don't care.
I sort of am the same way. I've reached a point of zen about it where I almost see it as like I'm watching a reality show in the comment section, and I'm like, ooh, there's a new character, and like her thing is that she's actually commenting like this to every existing comment.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked up all these people, every single one. I know where they live. I know what their deal is. I am not. So you know how like we've talked about how people don't have like internet media literacy, especially, and they'll post something really stupid.
We're
like,
the only people that do, actually. People don't realize that.
To do. And so when people post something like, share this to say, Mark Zuckerberg, you can't have my data.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to make if any graphic designers are out there, I want a blurry graphic that says, share this if you are not in a place to be critiqued. If you share this photo, you are not allowed to be critiqued.
No one is allowed to comment.
No comments.
On our content.
No comments. No questions, concerns.
There's also something, it does bother me too, where it's like the way that it's the same comment is like, you have to look at what's already been said and be like, oh, that's been taken.
I think you need to lean into it and start posting more controversial clips, so then that way there's just so many critiques that you are like, well, I personally cannot take critiques.
So I agree with you. Not to call you out, but Sam does want to do that. But then when we do it, you get very offended.
I liked it at
comments.
first. I liked it at
exposure
first.
therapy.
Sam literally wants. Sam is like,
George, I liked it at first. Okay. I liked like 4. Okay. When there were 4 comments, I was like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, but you can't.
When there were 20 comments, I was like, no.
Can I say
no, that's even better. 20 is better than 4.
Exactly,
4 is way more personal. 20, it's like, oh, they're just repeating each other.
And that's when, and also
it started to feel like bots.
No,
it did start to feel like bots.
When someone sees that there's already a bunch of comments, it feels less personal for them too. They're like, and this is, I mean, I hate to say it, but we are also I mean, not that you and I are commenting on random
I've never
clips.
commented.
I know, but like when something has more traction, it feels more faceless, and it might as well be like a clip from local news or something that's like going viral.
I guess.
Okay, here's what I think is happening. We are so obsessed with telling other people they don't have internet literacy, but then when things like this happen to us that happen to everyone, we're suddenly like, I'm sorry, why am I being attacked?
Well, there is something where I'm like, we've always stayed in our general pool. Like, everyone that likes our podcast, like...
This is to have a guest and be like talking at you
No,
about
I
our
love
issues
this.
with the comment.
I think it's
love
almost
this.
like a therapist sort of witnessing
Yeah.
and being able to parse
I'm
through it.
open.
Yeah.
But I think like before we've been in, and this is what I said was good before, where I said like this, with this clip, I feel like we're letting go of the wall in the pool and we're kind of going into the deep end.
Yeah, we're like, let's...
But that's good, because say for if you're opening the pool or whatever, more people are saying this that aren't in the group.
Yes.
That means like for every one shady comment, that's like maybe at least 1-to-1 ratio of one new person being like, oh, I kind of like this, but they're not going to
and
comment.
of course they're not going to comment. That's
because
the thing.
because no one comments anything normal or boring. No one's
Exactly.
going to comment, I like this. They're going to be like, yes, Queen Slay, or like,
Yeah.
fuck you. There's
it's like the silent normal majority.
yes.
And this is across the board. This is actually...
all the listeners out there, I am issuing the spread love challenge. If you watch a video and you say this is good and you want to spread some love,
Yeah.
comment this is good. Period.
See, but then you have to reverse psychology. This is what you have to reverse psychology and be like, no, bring it. Give me your harshest
Yeah.
thing. Because
Okay.
when you allow people to say mean stuff, then they're going to go so easy.
That's true.
Because now it's like, well, this isn't fun anymore.
That's true. Okay, lesbians, hit us with everything you've got.
Okay.
Recommend that literature in a way that we could never, ever imagine.
We are not in a fight with lesbians.
With this post, we are.
I mean, we can't. My final word personally on this is just like, we amplify queer women's voices so often. And it's like the people we love the most are queer women. And it hurts so much to see them turn on us.
Ooh, this is a good clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you
See,
cry?
you're thinking you want this to happen again.
Wait, but what was the original clip? Just that there's masc and femme?
I mean,
and then
we're,
were people
we're
upset
definitely
there's
being
no...
we're definitely being like flippant with our judgments, and
Yeah.
we know that. We're being very much like, oh God, we can't go into it again. We're being just like, we had Lisa Traeger on, and Lisa was like, I know many lesbian couples that fall into masc femme norms, and then we are being like, yeah, it's crazy that many lesbians we know fall into
Yeah.
masc femme norms, which by the way, so do like gay guys do too. They're just like
Yeah.
gay guys are just like dumber than lesbians.
My
so they,
couples
like,
therapist
can't follow
even said
through.
this. I have a couples therapist. Is that straight culture? I don't
Ooh.
know.
It's hard to tell.
Maybe.
It's hard to
actually.
tell.
But my couples therapist, because I'm like, oh, the norms, blah, 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 male, female. And she's like, no, this comes up a lot in my like same-sex couples. So
Yeah.
shout out to Laura for confirming this.
Yeah. Shout out to Laura.
Yeah, shout out to, and that's actually the final word on this is shout out to Laura.
Yeah.
Should we do our first segment?
I think we should do our first segment.
Our first segment is called
Yay.
Straight Shooters. And in this segment, we test your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture by asking you a series of rapid fire questions where you have to choose one thing or another thing. It's sort of a Rorschach test to see how your minds are working.
Okay.
And the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions about how the game works, because if you do, we're going to be really mad at you. Don't try to look for logic.
Okay. So I just say,
That's a question.
That's a question.
okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I have to find them. Okay, Allie. A cloudy day or a pouty gay?
A cloudy day.
Rilo Kiley or Riley Keough?
Riley Keough.
Whoa. A new season of White Lotus or a new reason to fight POTUS?
Ooh.
A new reason to fight POTUS.
Yay.
Woo!
The woke mind virus or the folk music resurgence?
Oh.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because I don't know if I'm liking these or not liking
Yeah.
these. The woke mind virus.
She went there,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Recommending a book or complimenting a cook?
Ooh, complimenting a cook.
Skipping leg day or dipping to Beyonce?
Skipping leg day.
Subscribing to a Substack or whining after a nut tap?
Whining after a nut tap.
A professionally trained ballerina or a suspiciously blood-stained pashmina?
Ooh, a suspiciously blood-stained pashmina.
Wow, that was dramatic.
What do you guys think about
Okay,
me?
so we
What's
rank our guest performance on a scale of 0 to 1,000 doves. And I actually think that was a really good performance.
I think that was an amazing performance. There was wonder, there was natural curiosity, there was confidence, but not arrogance.
Mm-hmm. You were a woman in the beginning of a rom-com who is like, everything is going really well in her life, but there's one thing missing. Like, you had a natural air of curiosity about you. There was so much happening behind your eyes. You were giving a really great, grounded performance. And it made me think, like, I want to know what makes this girl tick.
Wow, thank you.
So I'd say 823 doves.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I love being talked about.
Oh,
like
good.
you just
We do
like
that a
saying
lot here.
something. I'm like, wow, keep going. What else?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I told you this before we were recording, but your hair is like so like beautiful.
Thank you.
And like it's actually very Los Angeles woman.
You know, now that you're saying that, it makes so much sense. But I had no idea you were West Coast.
Yeah. People think I'm like maybe sometimes people say Midwest, sometimes people say Southern, but I think it's because I kind of mumble.
No, but there are hints of a
jumble.
California accent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now I'm hearing
Not
it.
like not super intense. It's not like Valley Girl, but there's a California cadence that I am familiar with.
Okay, I guess here's the weird thing that doesn't make sense.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to spell a word. You say it.
Okay.
Fountain.
Fountain?
Fountain?
I say fountain.
Fountain.
Oh,
Fountain, mountain.
Fountain, mountain, fountain.
And then like my boyfriend makes fun of me because me and my mom and my sister say, I guess we say milk.
Oh, you're milk
That's
people?
that's a very...
But I feel like that's like mid-Atlantic. That's like Maryland in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Milk.
Yeah, I don't know. But everyone in my family, like my parents, everyone's like California.
I recently realized I've been saying scarce instead of scarce.
Whoa.
And no one has ever corrected me.
Whoa.
Even though I obviously have heard other people say that word.
I think that's a great sign of who you are, that people just go, he knows what it is.
Yeah.
He knows something.
Well,
I'm the wrong one here.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they're like, here he fucking goes again. Scars? Jesus fucking Christ.
I guess I've never heard you say that word before.
Yeah.
What was the moment that clicked?
My husband corrected me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, if you want to stay in this marriage, you better learn how to say
He
English
said,
words.
now that it's locked down, I can finally be honest with you. You say this wrong.
I also do struggle with saying the word singer.
Yeah. Singer.
I think that's how I'm supposed to say it, but I get really caught
You
up
like
with
to
it. And
pronunciate.
Singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Singer. I love when people say singer.
I'm
I think it's
working
funny.
late
Yeah.
because I'm a singer.
To me, saying singer is so like you are like a mother of two, but you still think you've like got a shot at making it in
being a
America's
singer?
Next Top
Yeah,
Model.
totally.
Or, America's Got Talent, and you're like being interviewed, and you're like, I've just always wanted to be a singer.
I feel like now that you're saying it, I'm like, it's a bad word.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
Singer could be a it's a bad word as in it's a slur, or it's a bad word as in like they
well,
weren't
depending on who's singing.
Depending on who's singing.
Yeah.
If you yourself are a singer, you can say singer.
But I think it's just a weird word. Like
is
it's
a
a
weird
bad
word. Yeah.
word.
Oh yeah,
Singer.
It's just not right.
No, it doesn't. There's no flow.
I'm thinking of so like bringer. Like the show
Also,
is a bringer.
anything with a G,
Is that-
E-R, it's not got a flow. Or I guess N.
You know what does work though? Finger. Finger kind
finger
of
does kind of
Finger.
flow. Finger.
Because you would never say finger.
Finger. No. Finger.
Finger.
Yeah, that's so true.
Finger is one of those words that's like, that is exactly what that is meant to be. Finger, which finger already kind of gross and witchy. And then, of course, the disgusting term fingering. Like, of course,
I
that's
love that term. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah,
Fingering.
yeah.
Woo.
It's just there's no way to be
I'll
elegant.
put a ring on it. A
Yeah.
finger ring.
Ooh.
There's no way to be elegant while saying the term fingering.
I like it because it's always juvenile. style. If you were getting fingered, you're like in my car. Like everyone's getting fingered,
It's
just
so
getting fingered in a
cutesy.
car.
It's
yeah.
like, ooh.
But you can't be like, Julie Andrews and be like, oh, I was fingered.
But it's not for her.
It's not for
It's
her.
not
She's
for
never
girls
been
like her.
fingered.
No.
Do British people have a different word for fingering? Because
Oh,
they-
I'm sure.
They need one.
Yeah, they're like, I was digitized.
Oh.
Actually, I'm going to start saying digitized instead of
digitized.
I was digitized. Yeah,
I think I think that jacking off is a horrible
I agree.
phrase.
Okay,
It's
here's a question for
such
you.
a weird, yeah.
Did you grow up with jacking off or jerking off?
I don't know. I feel like I wasn't doing much of that growing up.
100%.
And I wasn't part of the dialogue around it.
You weren't part of the dialogue.
No.
You removed yourself from that conversation.
I feel like though, like if I'm trying to remember being a teen, I feel like everyone was probably jerking off. I feel like jerking was more.
I grew
I'm like
up with,
trying to like go back to childhood and remember.
I
Yeah,
grew
I
up with
can't.
jacking, but then I actually think after I came out, jerking became more among gay guys.
It became,
was
like, the more
the
ironic.
sexier.
Oh.
But I think even like it's like it's like the difference between dick and cock.
Yeah, totally.
Like, cock has a more like sexy connotation, and I think jerk versus jack also has that.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
agree with
Jack
you.
and cock both just sound more aggressive.
Yeah,
I've heard of Jack and Coke, but Jack and Cock.
jack and cock. Wait, should we get into our topic?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Okay, so what is your topic today, and what is roughly straight about it to you?
Okay, so so many crossed my mind, but I guess something that I feel like is a very straight concept is like YouTube celebrities and YouTube controversies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the main one being anything surrounding Brianna Chicken Fry, i.e. Zach Bryan, i.e. Barstool, i.e. Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I feel like that universe in the kind of mainstream YouTube universe is pretty straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's even when you first suggested this topic, I was like, Brianna Chicken Fry. Like, I was like, what does that mean? I've never heard of this. And then I had to go back and be like, wait, I did hear about this on the only straight podcast I listened to. And even still, I didn't understand it. And they talk about it all the time, and I like don't get it.
The thing with I'm the same way with on Who Weekly they talk about Brianna Chicken Fry a lot, and the way I quite literally love both of those girls to death, but as soon as the name is mentioned, I tone it. I like cannot physically pay attention.
Because I think the name in it of itself,
Yes.
Chicken Fry, it's not her real last name for anyone who doesn't know. It's a name that she gave herself.
Yes.
And even that is like, what's something that guys will get into? Like, my name's Brianna, I'm a girl, but if I say Chicken Fry, then guys might open their ears a little.
I'm a cool girl.
But it's
Yeah.
also, there is something so transcendent about it, because to me, Brianna Chicken Fry is quite literally like what a drag name would be if there were no gay people ever. Like, it's like, it is a completely, it's like if a bunch of straight men and straight women got together and they were like, let's think of a drag name. No gay people are allowed to weigh in. They would come up with specifically Brianna, like that would be the first
Yes.
name. Brianna
Chicken
Chicken Fry.
Fry.
And there is something actually so beautiful about that. Like, it's almost like, when you watch something so like aggressively kind of bro-y, like the Hangover movies or something, you have to really respect how amazing of a document it is. Like, it is so beautiful that we live in a world with Brianna Chicken Fry.
Yeah.
I could have never thought of that.
And it's balance,
Yes.
you need Brianna Chicken Fry so you can get, a Trisha Paytas. Like,
Yeah, of
there's a
course.
balance.
So
Wow,
what is
yeah.
the Chicken Fry controversy?
So, I don't know. I mean, it goes deep. I mean, first of all, you're a Barstool. Your boss is Dave Portnoy. He's going to kind of puppeteer the way he does. And so Brianna Chicken Fry, the initial main controversy was she got into a relationship with this country boy, Zach Bryan.
Right.
And Zach Bryan was in a relationship. So their relationship started off with this, like, what's the timeline?
Cheating,
Did they get
yes.
together before? Yeah, is there any cheating? Whatever. So the relationship was already kind of doomed from the beginning. And then throughout the course of the relationship, Brianna's like becoming a roadie for her man. She is going on tour. She is, supportive at all the venues. it's never a good sign when she's like making TikTok videos being like, you want to come to the show? Like, you're so sweet. It's like, don't be promoted. Like, you're not the promoter.
Yeah.
And then she kind of started dressing and acting like his ex-girlfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there were kind of some like, videos side by side being like she's wearing the same hat that the ex-girlfriend would always wear.
Oh, and that was perceived as shade.
No. It was like she's she's trying to like be the ex. Like something maybe
it's like Kanye's new, it's like
yeah.
What's Kanye's new girlfriend?
Bianca Censori.
Bianca Censori, talk about the Brianna chicken fry of her time.
Yeah.
But it's like how she's being Kim or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the difference, of course, is that she's not really in control, but go on.
Yeah. So then the relationship comes to a screeching halt. And once again, Zach Bryan has maybe moved on during the relationship, but also it comes out that he is potentially kind of abusive a little bit. And not, I don't think physically, but I think emotionally and all the other non-physical ways that you can be abusive, psychologically. Yeah. And so everyone's kind of back on Team Brianna because for a while, everyone was like,
I see.
She's doing too much. She's, losing herself. And then, she comes out, she says these things about Zach. One of her best friends, who she does her podcast with, Grace O'Malley, is defending her. She's like, helping her out, being a good friend. So everyone's like Team Brianna at this point. Because they're like, she went through a lot. We don't know what it was like. All past is forgiven. But then Brianna turns her back on her best friend, Grace. And so now everyone's like, F Brianna, we're Team Grace, and F Zach Bryan and Brianna. Because Brianna, the stuff that she was saying about Zach, all the bad stuff she was saying about Zach, she was doing the exact same thing to her best friend, Grace.
Wow. She was gaslighting. She was being emotionally manipulative.
Yeah, she's like, I brought Grace out to New York to do this podcast with me, and she's not thankful. And it's that's exactly what you were saying about Zach.
Wow, there's something so beautiful about the crowd sort of at the end of the day finding the truth. It's like first they didn't like him, then they didn't like her, then they had this moment where they were like, oh right, they both suck.
It's a nice narrative.
And in fact we support the supporting actress in the scenario, which is Grace O'Malley.
Yes. Everyone is lifting her up right now.
We are, and I want to join them in lifting up Grace O'Malley.
But George, nothing's ever over, and who knows what manipulative things that Grace O'Malley will come out as having done.
As a wise woman once said,
and this clip
just
will
because
go viral.
It's over doesn't mean it's really over, and if it's really over, then it's really over
again.
Guess it's never really over. Yeah.
Okay, so I have many thoughts about this. To me, something that is very straight about almost like either YouTuber or creator drama is that I think, in my experience, the drama stems from very like almost conservative heteronormative values. It's always about like, about cheating. It's about marriage. It's about like this very sort of antiquated idea of like properness. Like, was this a proper thing to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's never that someone, what's like a gay scandal? Like, what's like, it's like,
a gay scandal is like someone's Tumblr from 20 years ago came out and they were like crazy.
Yeah. Sure. It's because, okay, of course, the exception to all of this that we have to address. A gay scandal
is that someone stole someone's dancers.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, which that has nothing to do with. Okay, so here's what it is. I actually think loyalty related things. I think on the one side you have faithful, like being faithful, monogamy, gender dynamics, blah, blah. And on the other side, you have non-gendered loyalty. Non-gendered loyalty is gay. And then like marriage and cheating and stuff is straight.
Yeah.
So which is why I think, of course, the big exception to everything we're saying is the James Charles and Tati drama, because that was all about loyalty between a straight woman and a gay man.
Yeah, I think so.
But that sort of is like the exception that proves the rule. It's like we had one big gay scandal and they actually crushed it so hard that we never need to have another one again. And since then, people like Brianna Chicken Fry have been trying to capture that magic.
Well, and I feel like maybe with like Tati and James, there's like so many layers to it, with Tati being an older woman,
Yes.
James being a young man at the time, and then like James's own controversies. Whereas I feel like with a Brianna Chicken Fry, everything's just very much like this and this and this. Like it's all very chronological.
Yes.
And like, yeah, I don't know.
There's something about it too that feels straight, where it's that's like a small town drama.
Yes.
Like it's something
It's
where
Jane
you're-
Austen.
Yeah, you're like looking in on like, oh, that family they actually have trouble, and they're getting divorced actually, and whisper. And there's something where it's like we don't have towns anymore. There's no community anymore, so we have to find our small town drama in the weird YouTube celebrities.
Yeah, our small villages are like YouTube communities that are like the beauty community, the Barstool sports community.
Yeah.
And then we all get to be Belle in Beauty and the Beast, like prancing around with our book.
I wonder too if it's like, because people like Brianna Chicken Fry, who are like very public facing, like influencer and not celebrities, we know we're seeing so much of them and we are invited to be a part of their lives. And so we analyze it. We're analyzing it so much deeper because it's almost like a close friend or family member. Whereas like someone like, Taylor Swift and Katy Perry's dancers, we don't know very much about them personally. So we're like, and that's the drama, is the dancers.
Yeah.
But if Katy Perry were to post all the time, we'd have so much more to say.
Yeah, there are sort of like three types of dramas one can follow in this day and age.
Uh-oh.
One is traditional celebrity news. It's like Taylor Swift, whatever. One is reality show, where it's like one step below, where yes, they're not real celebrities, but they are on television. They're like fully in traditional media. And then the third is this, what we're talking about here, which is like creator drama.
Yeah. You would think creator drama would be gayer.
I know, that's what I'm struggling with. It's like,
But I think we underestimate how popular this stuff is in straight culture.
yeah.
I think that's a big part of it, which is something that we are struggling with in general. Like, I genuinely, like, someone like Joe Rogan, who is like the biggest podcaster ever. Like, I'm like, I don't know a single person who listens to him. And that is like bizarre.
Yeah. It's like how Stranger Things is the biggest television show ever, and I don't know anyone who watches it.
And I'm like, I really want to like believe my own worldview, but it doesn't reflect what the world actually is.
Yeah, I think gay people ultimately
Clip this.
Regardless of who is numbers wise most popular, I think gay people are drawn to glamour. Like they want the A-list celebrity. They want the pop star. They want like the diva.
Wow.
Whereas I think straight people are attracted to the more like everyday village type thing.
Wow.
Don't you think? Like
That's really interesting.
they actually like. I think it is gayer to care more about people that are less reachable, people that are more glamorous and distant, because you want the mythology and you want the like the sort of like magic of it. And when I see some random creator, it actually sort of makes me sad. I'm like, ugh, they're like trying so hard to be famous. Unlike Lady Gaga, who was born famous.
Yes, yeah. Well, and I feel like, I don't know if this has crossed over into any sort of gay TikTok culture, but like the rise of trad wives. It's like, I feel like straight culture is like lifting something up and then tearing it down. Because it's like all of us were watching these trad wives being like, oh my God, she makes pies from scratch and has eggs and chickens and whatever. But then it's like, but her husband, she actually is doing this. And it's like, yeah, she's showing us what she's doing.
Yeah.
It's like we fall very easily for things. Where it's like, we'll see a trad wife and be like, oh, this is a performance. Whereas gay people see Beyonce and they're like, that's a performance.
Yeah.
We see a trad wife and we're like, she's putting on a show. And then we realize, no.
Okay,
she's
this is
just doing
genius
this.
because I think you're also... Okay, another great difference between gay and straight is like the gay way to view something is as a performance and the straight way to view it is literal. So you are more likely to get invested in Brianna Chicken Fry's literal day-to-day life Whereas a gay person sees that and is like, oh, she's being sort of like cheeky and funny because she's like getting on a podcast and talking about her life in this like meta way or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, and that actually makes so much sense in terms of like when Lady Gaga was first like coming up and like, you know, my parents or just like straight people in general are like, why is she wearing meat? Like, like, oh, does she have a penis or whatever it is? Oh, she's Satan. Like she's bleeding out of her stomach at the VMAs. It's like, yeah, it's like everything is very.
Whereas gay people are like, first of all, pause up.
Monsters?
Yeah. Like, it's like gay people are, when she's showing up wearing a meat dress made of literal meat,
It's
no
amazing.
gay person is like, what kind of meat is that and where did she get it? That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
There's something. So I was, you know, listening to our dear friend Sophie Buttle on Mark Maron, and she talked about tall poppy syndrome, which I had never heard of.
Yeah, me neither. I loved
What's
that.
tall poppy
So
syndrome?
tall poppy syndrome, she said it's like a Canadian thing where like if you are, they discourage you from being a tall poppy. They want you to be the same height as all the other poppies. So if you're a tall poppy, they'll cut you. And so she's like, I went to America because I wanted to be a tall poppy. And like in Canada, they would cut you down.
I see.
And so like there's something here where straight people still have like tall poppy syndrome. Like they like their celebs to match them.
Yeah.
Like they're like, that's a normal person. Whereas like when Lady Gaga wants to be crazy, gay people are like, that's good.
yeah.
Finally, a tall poppy.
I mean, all of this relates back to like the concept of relatability, for example. Like the idea, the appeal of a quote unquote girl next door is a very straight thing. It's like very straight to be like, I'm turning on my TV and what I want is someone that looks like the girl next door to me. Whereas a gay person is turning on the TV and is like, if she doesn't have literally 5 breasts and she's breastfeeding a guinea pig on each one, I'm turning this off.
And I wonder if this like, I mean, maybe this goes back. Okay, I'm putting on my smart hat or maybe my stupid hat.
It's hard. They look so similar.
so-
It's
I
so hard to
confuse
tell.
them.
when you're getting dressed.
Yes. And I feel the same in both.
Yeah.
But I wonder if because societally it's safer as a gay, queer, whatever person to blend in, stay safe, don't break the mold, don't be a tall poppy, just fit in, level out. So then when you see someone like Lady Gaga, you're like, she represents all of us. It's safe for her to be big and bold, and I get to stay here and support that. Whereas like a straight person, it's like, everyone can be the tallest poppy ever. Like, who cares? Whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not dangerous for me to wear a meat dress.
I see. Yes. So it's not empowering. When you see someone in a meat dress, you're not empowered by it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, I could do that any day.
Yeah, sure. I'll put on to me.
Yeah, just a little uncomfortable is all.
But it's like there's already enough judgments from society about just existing as a gay person.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
you see someone existing in this crazy, loud, big way,
Like defiant.
yeah. It's better than a Brianna chicken fry
Yes,
who's
yes,
just
yes.
wearing like denim short shorts and going to country concerts.
Right. Because Brianna Chicken Fry could potentially bully you. She could, you never know where you stand with her. Whereas someone in a meat dress, you're like, well, you're even weirder than I am.
Yeah. I'm like curious. Because the world is so vast.
Of course.
I'm like there are gay people that are like, I listen to Brianna Chicken Fry every single week, and I would love to know what those people are like.
See, but that's what any topic I thought of bringing in, I'm like, okay, but definitely there's like a gay audience
Of
for
course.
this.
It
Sure.
always goes full circle.
But with Brianna Chicken Fry, I'm like, where?
No, I mean I think
don't
you could
know
literally
any of
count
them.
them on one hand.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
But I'm like,
I mean, they're all going to write in now. The
And
gay
I-
Brianna Chicken Fry
I mean, I
fans.
would love
encourage
to
them
know.
I want this clipped, and I want you to comment, read a book.
Oh my God. I would love a roundtable of gay Barstool listeners, like gay guys specifically.
Well, so there is a podcast on Barstool with
Thank you for this
two gay
perspective.
men as the host. So that's
Really?
why but even still, because it's at Barstool, I'm like, they're just filling a quota. It doesn't feel like they genuinely wanted that at Barstool.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, these are the most inoffensive gay men
Do they,
who
like,
I've done their podcast. They're great. But I'm like, do they feel
Yeah.
welcomed in this environment?
Interesting.
I'm glad that they have it, but do they like being there?
Yeah, like when that was announced, was there like shit talking comments? Like
I wonder.
I'm
yeah,
sure
I'm
there's
sure.
got to have been. If I know anything, which maybe I don't. Stupid hat, smart hat look so similar.
Wow, what if we got acquired by Barstool?
That would be so iconic.
That would be iconic. Okay. I'm trying to think of other.
Well, and
Okay,
theoretical.
I'm gonna
Yes,
rattle
go, go, go.
off
Yeah.
just
Please do,
names
please
of
do.
like
Yes.
YouTube-ish, like not famous but
Yes.
famous straight things. Okay, so we have Brown and Chicken Fry, obviously. We have Barstool as an umbrella. We have I would say Alex Cooper.
Of course.
I would say
Who's
Alex
that?
Cooper.
Call your daddy.
Oh, everyone's yelling at me.
I'm actually, I have to say, I'm still shocked about your nobody wants this ignorance. and now
Oh
to
my
add
God,
call
my
her
own
dad-
co-host is telling me to read a book.
now
This is
to
so
add call
messed
her daddy to
up.
that, I'm like, you don't support female podcasters.
Oh yeah, what's your favorite Call Your Daddy episode?
The one with Kamala.
The woke mind virus.
Mind virus.
Also the Paul brothers,
Yes. The
Yeah.
Logan and
Gosh.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The streamer Kai Cenat.
Oh sure.
The Paul brothers is a big one. And actually, I feel there was a moment. So I watched the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
And there was a moment when I was watching that where I was like, I almost like left my body. Trump had just gotten elected like a week earlier. And I almost left my body and was like, this is a actual shift in culture. Like there is something about the fact that suddenly literally everyone is on Netflix watching this like extremely depressing and dark event that was started because a like YouTuber turned whatever boxer is like challenging someone who was like a part of pop culture 40 years ago and now is like sort of washed up and blah blah blah. And then Jake Paul won and his speech was like, America's back, y'all, I can feel it.
Yeah.
I just felt it's like every thought left my mind and I was like, we have to reinvent the playbook because what we're doing is not working here, folks.
Damn, that's a bummer.
You know what I mean? Like, and I almost think that fight was like the apotheosis of YouTuber drama. It's like we took it to the farthest level we could take it to was a Netflix streamed boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like that's like the Oscars of this world.
Yeah.
Speaking of Oscars, I think Hawk Tua should have her own movie.
Oh yeah, Hawk
Hawk
Tua.
Tua. Well, she's actually not doing her podcast anymore because there was so much
There's
pushback.
a Bitcoin scandal.
When she
I
released her
love
ba-
the Bitcoin scandal.
I love it, and it's not her fault.
It's not her
because
fault.
she's working with the goddamn Paul brothers.
Hawk Tua innocent.
Hawk Tua is innocent, and you know what? I think she's just around the wrong people. I think she's got a good big heart, Miss Haley Welch.
I think she's got a great big heart.
You guys are insane.
She loves animals. She's from a small little town.
I think this has been forced upon her, as if say in the
straight
past.
culture got to her
Of
because
course.
she made a very funny, silly little blowjob joke. And guys, the rise of Hawk Tua is a straight male event.
100%.
Watching that as a woman, I'm like, oh, haha, like funny. Guys are like, oh yeah,
Finally, a girl
nice.
who's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But this,
and-
what you're saying is another example of like performance versus like interpreting something as a performance versus interpreting it as literal reality.
Yeah.
It's like Hawk Tua, if things were right in the world, we would all just be like, you go girl, like what a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
And like, okay, let's make some merch and let's get you, there's a Hawk Tua Halloween costume, blah, blah, and then we can all move on. But then the literal way is then people debating like, what that look like, how do you actually spit on it, and like does that mean that she's like slutty, and like what is her, how do you feel about like Hawk it's like immediately taking any fun out of it.
Yeah. I knew it was over when both of my brother-in-laws had referenced it, and
Yeah.
I was like, this shouldn't have gotten to you.
Totally.
This
Yeah.
wasn't for
This
you.
should
This
not have
shouldn't have
gotten
gotten to you.
That's
Yeah, I do. I also think that street interviews, aside from
well.
Billy Eichner and like that guy Chris Clemens, I think in general, just people being like gay son or thought daughter, that's very straight culture.
No, it's so. I'm actually frustrated with it because like Billy Eichner did it so well and it was like comedic and good. And then like now it's like literally everyone is doing it and no one is trying to do anything comedic with it at all. They're just like, I just want to be on a camera holding a little microphone.
Because Billy is the funny person in The Man on the Street, whereas these people like the Hawk Chua, she was the funny person, not the guy. No one knows the person who put the microphone in her face because there's no brain behind that.
No.
It's the people talking. Everyone's just relying on other people for their content.
But did you guys see the clip where she was like talking to people?
Bye, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed.
Well,
talk to you in the morning.
I gotta go to bed.
I love that so much.
So funny. And then they didn't hear from her for weeks.
That's what you gotta say in the comments when people are like, read a book. Be like, I gotta go to bed. See you in the morning.
See you in the morning. It was so funny.
Maybe it's like this interview thing, it's almost like on one end of the spectrum, we have Girls Gone Wild, literally predatory men asking drunk women to take their clothes off. And then on the other side of it, we have like Jiminy, what's his name? Oh my God. Martin Short's character.
Oh, yeah.
Jiminy Glick.
Jiminy Glick, which is like, he's the butt of the joke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you got like Jiminy Glick, gay, Girls Gone Wild, straight.
Yeah.
The interviewer there has to be talent in the interviewer and it has to be rooted in performance rather than going around making fun of people.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think we've solved it pretty much.
Interesting. Any final thoughts on YouTuber dramas is it?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I guess like, I'm just like, the problem that I'm struggling with is that it's only going to get bigger.
No, I know.
This like type of culture is so deeply popular among people I've never met in my life and will keep getting more and more popular. And I'm like bummed out by it, actually.
I think what needs to happen, the shift, is that gay people need to make more boring content the way that straight people have dominated the boring content market.
Don't
put so much thought into it.
People are overwriting.
Yeah, don't put so much thought. Production value, turn it down.
Gotta say, Allie, I think a lot of people are already heeding your advice based on what I'm seeing on some of my suggested content out there.
Or have just like have more boring drama that people can get upset over.
Yeah.
Like relationship drama, messy stuff.
When gay people eradicated the concept of cheating, that's when things got hard.
That's when things got difficult. Yeah.
Because that's such an easy generator of drama. And it's like, first of all, gonna happen no matter what. So it's like, if we just kept that as like the big dramatic event, God, we'd be fine.
Because Jeffree Star, I feel like, does a good job of being controversial and mainstream.
Right, but that's because Jeffree, he literally will like murder. You know what I mean?
Well, he also is like always
like the elk or people.
like I feel like the vibe with him is like he could murder at any moment.
But he's successful.
Yeah.
There's also always the threat with him that he'll like release the names of like the people he's hooked up with.
Exactly. That's why people will keep watching.
That's all they care about.
Yeah.
We need more threats in our content, like some sort of mystery that we're trying to crack.
I mean, you know what the equivalent of cheating is with gay creators is like closetedness. It's like so and so, like this big male celebrity, like is secretly gay.
True.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, like, I get such a pit in my stomach when I think of these like creator dramas, just because it really is like, not to sound like elitist or something, but it really does feel like the death knell of all culture. Like it really is like, you're just sort of like, how much lower can it get? Like, literally, how much lower can entertainment get than Brianna Chicken Fry?
Well, and even like,
I guess it could be like
literally how much. Like, what else? How can you like take away any more like production?
Yeah,
like like we used to like read stories. We used to watch plays, and then it was like, okay, now we're watching TV. Okay, now we're watching reality TV. Okay, now we're watching. It's like how like we're literally just gonna start staring at people on the street and like yelling at them.
Exactly. Everyone is just going to have like a police camera on their chest and then you're going to be like, look, he passed by that woman and her hair sucks.
And then it'll be like, actually, when her hair sucked, that was radical.
Yeah.
And now we're
and then there's
going
to be merch that's like, my hair sucks too. And then she's going to have a podcast and then she's going to have her own cryptocurrency and then a signature catchphrase. And then she's going to be president. And that's going to be our first woman president.
I hope so, yeah.
I would love.
Maybe Tana Mojo for president. Do you guys know Tana Mojo?
No, who's that?
Okay. She has been a YouTuber for a very long time. She's very
TanaCon.
messy. Yeah, TanaCon.
Yes, I remember TanaCon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, we don't have that. I do want to bring this up.
Yeah.
Because something that we just like fully haven't mentioned is a big part of this is also quote unquote scammer scandals. Like TanaCon is a great example of this. It's like she charged her fans this much money, then they showed up and the convention was a scam. Or like Caroline Calloway is a classic like creator drama that has to do with scamming.
Scammer
and I actually think is more queer. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think it's like scamming. All right. Scamming and loyalty are queer. And then like cheating and what else? What's the
marriage
and marriage? Yeah, like
It's like like presenting a different version
hypocrisy.
of your hypocrisy.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. Because so hypocrisy and cheating, which I guess are the same.
I guess like morals. Yeah.
Morals, hypocrisy, and cheating are straight, and loyalty and scamming are queer when it comes to scandals.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad we got there.
Wow. Well, should we do our final segment?
Yeah.
Okay, our final segment is called Shoutouts, and in this segment, we pay homage to the grand street tradition of the radio shoutout, and shout out to anything that we are enjoying: people, places, things, ideas, whatever you want in the whole wide world.
And we think of it on the spot.
And we'll go first.
And I'm trying to. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Okay, what's up, freaks, losers, and perverts around the globe? I want to give a huge shout out to cloudy days in Los Angeles. As we all know, I have had my issues with this city, but except when we take those issues away, then I have no issues with it. But when I'm loving it the most recently is on those cloudy days, and I say, finally, I can be moody. When I was living in New York, of course, anytime it was cloudy, I was on. I needed a check-in. I was on a watch list. The clouds could break me. But here, I'm actually a little bit sick of sun. And when it is cloudy, I say, finally, I can listen to slow, sad music. Finally, there's not pressure to go outside and, I don't know, do a CrossFit class. Every day here, everyone's saying, why aren't you having the most fun of your entire life? And I say, because that's unsustainable. Well, on a cloudy day, I can be just me. And that is enough. XOXO, Sam.
What's up, freaks and losers? I want to give a shout out to the book Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman, published in, I want to say, 1984. Now,
scary year.
Yeah, it's a very scary year, and it's only gotten scarier since then, folks. So this is a book that has been recommended to me many times, and it's about how television is bad. It's about how television is like ruining a society that was based on text and reading, and it's making everyone stupider. And there is something so wonderfully nostalgic about remembering when that was the issue everyone cared about, and now everyone is quite literally illiterate and can only speak in sort of grunting noises. And so, if you want to remember just like the real sense of hope that we had in the Reagan 80s, I really highly suggest picking up Amusing Ourselves to Death. It really still holds up, and a lot of the arguments he makes about television you could also make about social media. The book literally starts out with him being very dramatically being like, as I'm writing this, a Hollywood actor is sitting in the White House. And I was like, damn, still true.
Yay.
So it's very short. It's truly less than 200 pages. I'm sure there's an audiobook of it. Hopefully it's read by Brianna Chicken Fry if we're lucky. And so I gotta say, really is hitting the spot. And if you want to feel smart without honestly putting that much effort into reading something, I highly recommend it.
Woo! That's huge. Sometimes those types of books bum me out because they're so because nothing has changed and actually gotten worse.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, it's fun to be like, how quaint, and then you're like, oh, but he was right.
No, he was fully right. It's funny to think back to. There's always some moral panic, and you like wanna reassure yourself by being like, well, there's always been moral panics. There was one about television. There was one about phones, whatever.
Radio.
And then it's like, right, and they were all right. And things kept getting worse. So what now?
So what now?
Well, Allie, whenever you're ready.
Do I look into Cam?
Ooh,
you can.
Certainly can.
Wherever you feel comfortable looking.
Okay. Hi. I want to make a shout out to one of the craziest products I've ever took a chance on, and I'm so glad I did. If I were an influencer, this is the only thing I would try and influence people on, and that is the 2-in-1 hair care product from Trader Joe's, $5. It's a shampoo and conditioner. It's hydrating. It's the best product ever. You can buy it anywhere, any Trader Joe's. $5. And it sounds sketchy because obviously when you say 2-in-1, there's a lot of preconceived ideas about that. But I took a chance on it. A hairstylist recommended it, and I was like, it's $5. What do I have to lose? My hair? Maybe. But let's try it. I tried it. It's never felt better. It's like a blue bottle. It's grapefruit mint. It smells good. It's not too strong of a scent, but I leave it on. I soak it in my wet hair. I rub it in. I leave it in. I brush it out in the shower. When I get out of the shower, I put in just a little bit of leave-in conditioner. And then I use my trusted, which I think is burning my hair. I don't recommend this, but the Dry Bar little curling blow dryer, 2-in-1, both 2-in-1 products. It might be the way of the future, but I love it. I've never loved my hair more. It's never felt as good, and that's what I'm shouting out today.
Woo!
Wow.
I think it's really powerful, and about time we stopped the stigma around 2-in-1.
They're not all the same.
They're not all the same.
And I'm not using it to wipe my butt in the shower. It's for my head.
Sure.
It works on my head.
That is shocking to me. Because I really do.
What, you think she's using it to wipe her butt?
No, I'm just shocked because I'm on record as saying you have beautiful hair.
Yeah.
The fact that it is because of Trader Joe's 2-in-1 is really rocking my world, to be honest with you.
I would go try and get all these fancy products being like, this is going to change my life. It's a tiny bottle for $60. Yep. It runs out so fast. I'm using the entire bottle just in one shower because why not? It's $5.
Damn, I love this.
I love it. I want everyone to try it. I want everyone to use it.
I have to say, this is very guys girl of you. To be like, I just use Trader Joe's 2-in-1.
No, it's good. It's good.
This is girls girl because the girls judge it. I don't need to convince a guy to get a 2-in-1.
That's right.
It's the girls who I have to convince. I beg them. I go, just try it.
Wow. You heard
and
it here first.
No one does. No one tries it, and it kills me. I'm devastated.
Somebody's gonna try it.
I hope so. It's $5. If you hate it, throw it away.
God, Trader Joe's, it still hits after all these years. Shout out to the tamales.
I'm like, I don't know what to do in there.
No, that's fair.
I've been in a Trader Joe's one time in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you got to get used to it. You got to get the flow down.
You also have to know what it does well and what it doesn't do well. Don't buy produce.
Don't buy produce, but they're frozen. They get the soup dumplings. Oh my God, the soup dumplings
frozen
are so
stuff,
good.
anything sort of in the realm of protein bars and powder. And
they always have a fun bread. I don't know how they make them. I don't know what they're doing. But
they're making them there backstage. They're making the bread fresh every morning.
Everything bagel ciabatta,
the everything bagel. Trader Joe's, it's like they are snorting lines of everything bagel seasoning back there.
Yes.
Well, Allie, this has been a real delight. Thanks so much for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
And please tell people, we're trying to actually let people promote themselves. Please tell people what you are up to, where they can find you, where they can see you, etc.
You can go to Macofsky.com. I have some tour dates coming up. You could see me do a comedy on the road, maybe in a city near you. You can go to my YouTube to check out Allie's interview show. You can get in on the ground floor of this. You can get it on the ground floor. I only have 2 episodes out at this moment.
That's huge.
I'm starting to record more episodes. One of my guests is St. Vincent.
Whoa.
That's pretty gay.
I saw that one.
That's pretty gay.
Yeah.
And then my other guest, just to balance, very straight, Dylan Francis. So there's one episode for everyone at least right now.
Oh my God.
More to come. That's
cool.
it.
Okay, great. And you got to introduce us to St. Vincent.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would love to.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
StraightioLab is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by George Civeris and Sam Taggart.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Han Sani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bei Wang.
Edited and engineered by Adam Avalos.
Artwork by Michael Fales and Matt Grubb.
Theme music by Ben Kling.